So, I'm not the biggest fan of romance, as you can tell by the amount of books on my shelf, but it is Valentine's Day and I want to get in the spirit, so I'm going to be reading only romance books for a week. As you can tell, there's not many options. I only have 4 books, and honestly, that last book is not even really romance. But for Valentine's Day, I'm going to do it. Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dorinda, and as you can tell by the intro, we are going to be reading romance books for a whole week. First book is Nora Goes Off Script by Annabelle Monaghan. I have yet to get into any of her books, but I heard she is a No Spice author, so I'm really excited to get into this. I was waiting until like the spring or summer to read this, but as you could tell, I have like no romance books, and I was determined to make this video. So we're just gonna jump in anyway. So the plot synopsis of this book is we are following Nora, who is a recently single mother, and she has 2 children, and she is a screenwriter, and she usually writes like rom-com movies and just like those classic Hallmark movies, but she decides that she's gonna write about her real life and what happened with her children's father, Ben. It gets taken over by, I think, like a bigger movie production company. They take over her house for a little bit and they're filming the movie, and the main character, Leo, decides, I want to break from my life and I'm gonna live with you for a little bit. And then that's the story that we follow. Before we read, let's go make a coffee and then we can get all cozy, and then I can update you guys when I'm a little bit further into this book. So I'm about 65 pages in. I am liking this book so far. I do think the main character, the man, Leo, is a little bit weird. I feel like the way that he's going about wanting to stay at her house is just a little odd, in my opinion. I mean, I am a mother, I have 2 children. If I was single and a guy did this, I'd be like, leave me alone. Even if you are a handsome celebrity, I would still be like, leave me alone, you creep. I get it, it's like the plot, it's like forced proximity. I get it, I get that trope. I do really enjoy that she is a mother. Sorry, my son woke up from a nap, but essentially what I was saying is I really do enjoy, funny enough, that she is a mom and that she has 2 kids. I really understand that part of the plot line, and I think that it's like very mundane. Like what they're doing in this plot is very like every day. She has like a routine, she gets up, she gets her kids ready for school, she takes her kids to school, she comes home, there's homework, there's lunch, there's Wheel of Fortune, wine, and then bed. And I like that because it really shows how every single day as a mother, it's just the same thing over and over. I kind of enjoy that about the book, but I'm excited. I'm excited to see where this book goes, especially in like the romance department. I don't necessarily feel like the characters have a lot of like romantic chemistry right now. I think it's more of just they're putting up with each other, but I'm excited to hear more. I have heard really good things about this author. I've never read any of her books, and I'm pretty sure she's kind of like Emily Henry and like Catherine Center, where she has a little bit more of like a fictional plot line in her romance. I may be wrong about that. So I'm just curious to see, because obviously like Nora has a past of how her ex had left her, and then Leo seems like he has a past too. Like there's things that are going on in his life that obviously brought him to want to just take a break from his life, from his Hollywood life, and want to live in her tea house essentially in the middle of the woods is how I kind of picture it. But like I said, I'm excited to read more, and I'll update you guys maybe when I'm like halfway or almost done, because honestly I'm probably gonna fly through this book, but enjoying it so far. I think it's cute. The type of books that he reads, they are 5 pages long.
What? I was given this, okay?
I fear I have become obsessed with this book. This book was so good. I finished it. I literally could not put this book down yesterday. Any moment of time that I had like a sliver of time to read, I picked this book up. It is a short book. It is like 257 pages, I think. Maybe even shorter than that. No, 257. I was spot on. I'm obsessed with Annabelle Monaghan's writing. I am so excited to dive more into her books. I literally want to go to the store as soon as possible and pick up more of her books. Anyway, I loved it. I definitely think this does not follow the typical plot structure that you see with romance books, so keep that in mind. While I was reading this book, I kept thinking, I was like, this is not a romance book. This is just a book about a girl who has really bad anxiety and overthinks and is just self-preserving herself when things are going bad in a relationship. And I was like, this is so relatable. I like related to this main character, Nora, so much. And I think that's why I love this book so much. I did make a note in my phone. I was like, I feel like I'm getting told things, not really showing things. But then once I got further in this book, I realized that's not necessarily true. The reason why I thought that was because we're seeing the relationship with this couple. We're kind of like going through, like I said before, like the everyday events. And that is definitely going to be told to you in like this chronological order. But the way that the character thought and felt, I felt it and it just made sense. And I loved the ending of this book. I love this book so much. I thought it was really, really great. I related to the main character and I'm just so happy I read this because I would not have read this if it wasn't for this reading romance book for a week. So I'm just so happy I read this. We're off to a great start. It's already day 2 and I've read a whole book. So I'm just really happy about that. So now on to the next book. I love the prologue. I love that we just go right into who the couple is in this book and wondering how they got there. I definitely think that was really clever of Ali Hazelwood to do that because now I'm like, what's going on? Wow. This tastes like watermelon. This tastes like watermelon candy. Oh my gosh, this is so good. This tastes like, hold on, ignore that I have this in a plastic bag, but it kind of tastes like the Joyride, the sour watermelon wedges. So good. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm trying to wear pink and red this week for Valentine's Day and like to be in the romance mood. I hope I'm not saying that too soon and like I run out of outfits for the rest of the week. But all right, so update on Love Theoretically. I'm on chapter 10, which is page like 135. And also, do you guys love my bookmark that I made? Super cute. I realized that I don't really think I gave like a plot synopsis for this book. We're following Elsie and she is a theoretical physicist and she wants to get this job at like MIT. I think it's just like a better job for her. And essentially like on her side biz while she was in grad school, she started doing like a fake dating app type of thing where she would go on fake dates with people so she could like pretend to be whoever they needed her to be. And it's not like she does anything with these people. It's like strictly just fake dating. That's it. And so she's like fake dating this one guy and his name is Greg, and his brother is kind of like on to her about it, and he ends up being one of the people that she needs to interview with and approve her hire at MIT. And so like there's like this a little bit like a enemy aspect to the relationship, which is kind of fun. I thought that this was going to be like a fake dating, like she was going to fake date him. It's more of like an enemies probably to lovers romance book in the STEM world because of like her fake dating relationship with his brother. He doesn't understand that it's a fake dating relationship. Like he's trying to like look out for his brother. Like he's kind of upset. That part of this book is really fun. I definitely am enjoying the comedic aspect of Ali Hazelwood's writing. I'm sure like if you have read her books, like she's really funny. There is a lot of like crude humor in this, which I don't really like. Like she even advocates for like, I don't want to say the word, but like sex workers, which personally with my faith and my conviction and also like before I was a Christian, I just don't want to advocate for that. I don't think that's right. Like that whole industry is wrong and it just is not good for people. So I do not like that she's like advocating that, normalizing that. It is a very small part of this. It's just here and there, like she'll like let out remarks, but I feel like I've noticed that she's made crude remarks in that category often. Like quite often, and it's kind of like rubs me the wrong way, but so far it's not a bad story. I think it's a really cute story. I'm curious to see how it goes. If you've seen my channel before, if you've seen my videos, you know I don't like spicy scenes and I'll just like skip over them, but I am hoping that there's not too much spice in this book. I think like Love Hypothesis there's just one, so it's just an easy skip over, but so far it's not really any spicy. I do feel chemistry in this book between the two main characters. I don't really feel chemistry a lot with people when I read romance books, and I'm feeling it with them, which I'm really enjoying, I'm really liking, and I like it. But I like this book. I like STEM romances. I like the smart woman trope, you know? It's fun to read about. So I am enjoying it. Hoping that I finish it soon. I do want to get into my next book because it's really exciting. It's actually a Christian romance book, sneak peek. But yeah, let's continue reading. So it's the next day, and I finished Love Theoretically, and I just was not obsessed, unfortunately. I was really excited because I really liked Love Hypothesis. I rated this 2.75 stars. It fell flat for me. I did really like the representation, or I guess how we explored how the main character, the female, she would like analyze people and basically change who she was to fit and get along with them. I can find myself doing this in my own life, so I really appreciated like the representation of this. I definitely think like the female in this book has it like hardcore. Like she like really changes who she is. But I did really like that talk of that, and also I feel like she's kind of a therapist for her family, and I liked how we talked about that too. And I think that the main character, I think his name is Jack, I actually thought he was a really sweet guy, so I did enjoy that part of this book as well. I feel like the plot line really fell flat for me. It was kind of boring, and like I said, I feel like the humor or like the jokes that the main characters would make, especially the girl, was just very crude. I didn't like it. It definitely like took me out of the book. I found myself like rolling my eyes and just like shaking my head a lot, so I wasn't a fan of that, unfortunately. So I'm actually gonna be giving this book away, so I'm gonna be putting it in my like giveaway pile. So now we're on day 4, so I think I have time to read one more book. So let's read the next book. Say hi.
Hello, are you recording?
Yeah. If you see his arm right here, that's my husband. Okay, so it's been a couple days. I haven't filmed because yesterday I had church and then we hung out with people. And then Saturday I honestly couldn't read a lot because I also was hanging out with my friends and stuff like that. But I did start this book and I think I got 74 pages in and I'm really liking a lot. I didn't go over the plot synopsis with you guys, but basically we're following our main character. Her name is Ingrid, and she is a editor for a company called Fog Harbor. And right now she's been in a brain fog because her best friend passed away, Cece, who was like a fantasy author for this company. She's been trying to pitch a lot of books and she's just not been doing good. Her boss is like, we're gonna fire you unless you can find the last manuscript of her friend who passed away. And so her friend's cousin Joel comes to her office, and you can tell based off the writing like something has happened between them, but you don't really know what's happening between them. Cece left this letter and she has something for them, and the editor is like, you need to go find out what's in this package, because if it's the last manuscript, that's gonna be the way that you can get your job back. So we're just following Ingrid, and she like goes back to her hometown, and there's just like a lot of mystery. Like we don't know what happened between the main characters, and Cece is kind of like orchestrating these two characters to find friendship again. And I really like it. It is a Christian romance book. I haven't really seen too many Christian elements so far, but I do know it's a Christian author. There is like talk because like Cece did pass away, and like she talks about don't be sad, like she's in heaven and stuff like that. But so far I don't know where the Christian element's gonna come in, but I'm sure it will, especially since we're talking about grief. So I'm really excited about this book. It's really good so far. The only thing is like I think it's like an indie published book. I'm not too sure. So like the book is super tough. Like it's tough to read. I'm like wanting to like crack the spine in half, but honestly I'm enjoying it. It's kind of a hard reading process, but I'm gonna read a little bit. I might listen to it. I do want to clean up a little bit, so I might listen to the audiobook, which is on Spotify, which I was not expecting. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. So it's later in the evening, and I haven't really gotten to read a whole lot today, unfortunately. I'm on page 130. I did have to do a lot of chores today, and honestly, I could really only listen to the audiobook instead of reading. But since tomorrow is my last day, I just wanted to share a little bit of my thoughts. I am really enjoying this book. I do wish I kind of would have read it in the summertime, just because it does take place on like this seaside village, and it's in July, and there's a lot of like beach talk, parties on the beach, and the vibes are definitely summer. If you are gonna read this book, book. I highly recommend reading it in the summertime, especially like a beach read. I also really enjoy this author's writing. I feel like she's very descriptive. I can see the scene that she's painting for me very, very vividly. There's definitely like this mysterious element. It's definitely not a mystery book by no means, but there's definitely this element of where are we going, what's going on, and I'm just excited to read more. Tomorrow is my last day and I'm hoping to finish it. I was talking to my husband, I was like, tomorrow's my last day of filming and I don't know if I'm gonna finish this book, and he's like, you can do it, you can finish it. And I was like, well, thank you for having high hopes in me, but I don't know if I'm going to finish it, but I'm gonna try to read as much as possible. I'm gonna read some more tonight, and then I'm gonna read tomorrow, and then I'll update you guys at the end of the day tomorrow. Let's get to reading. Let's read a little bit more before we have to go to bed, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. So it is the last day to read this book, and honestly, I don't think I'm gonna finish it. I am on page 194. I'm gonna try my hardest to finish it, but I just don't think I will. If I don't finish it in this video, stay tuned for my February wrap up and I can talk about it in that video. But I'm really, really, really liking this book. I think it's just really well done. Honestly, she is incorporating Christian elements, and I just think she's doing it in such a good job where we're getting to know the characters. We're getting to know also like their testimony, their relationship with God in such a natural way. I feel like the fear with Christian romances is that it can be done in a very forced way where you're like trying to incorporate it instead of just writing a story and it just naturally being there. Because as Christians, when you talk about your faith, it just comes up naturally because it's a part of who you are. Like, it doesn't have to be like this thing that you're just putting into your conversation to just put there. Like, it's gonna come up. Like, if you are a Christian, it's going to come up. And I feel like you see that in this book, which I really, really enjoy. The plot is really intriguing. I feel like we're really getting to know our characters who have like the romantic chemistry. We're really learning about their past and how they got to where they are now, because it's a second chance romance, and I am really enjoying that aspect of this book. We're really getting to know why they are where they are, what their grief is like, and I really like it. I definitely highly recommend it. I'm excited to read more from this author, so we're just gonna get to reading. Hopefully we can finish as much as possible, but we'll see. Highly recommend it. If I don't finish it today, I do want to mention that because I think that this book is definitely like in the 4-star range. We'll have to see if it hits that 5-star, but I'm really enjoying it so far. So let's continue to read, and we do have friends coming over tonight, so I probably won't be able to talk to you tonight, so I'll try to talk to you before they come over and I'll update you where I am at. So yeah, let's get to reading because this is our last day of reading romance for a week. Ignore that I'm wearing blue pants. Okay, you're not supposed to see my blue pants. If you hear my son, I'm so sorry. I cannot film without him being loud. I tried to, but I can't. And also ignore that I have a sweater over my shirt. He's wanting to crawl on my lap. But I did not get that far into my book. I got to like page 220 and I think I'm hitting a wall with the romance. Like, I'm really liking the book. Like, I honestly think it's a really well done romance book, but I think I'm just hitting a wall, guys. I think I've read too many romance books in a row. Like, I rarely read romance books, guys. Okay? Rarely. So this is a lot for me. Sorry if it's shaky. I'm holding it with my hand. But I think I'm just gonna have to end the video here. Unfortunately, I'm not gonna finish it in this video. I kind of figured I wasn't gonna finish in this video, but I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you're watching on Valentine's Day, happy Valentine's Day. I hope you're having a great Valentine's Day. If you're not watching this on Valentine's Day, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day nonetheless. But I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.